shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. And your host with the most is Marky Saint. Over here at Saint's Addiction, the coolest t-shirt shop in the world. And I got my shop because it's fucking hot out here in Vietnam. I'm looking at my morning view, juggling phone calls, made another $1,000 today. And I'm just like, you can't be serious. I got some customers that are so out of pocket. I got some models that are so out of pocket. I know people that are so out of pocket that I had to start the morning motivation and explain to people that you can't be serious. If you don't take people seriously, if you're a dismissive kind of person, if you're rude or cut people off or don't call them back, you'll never make it in the business world or in life. And I'm here to explain. Here's Saints Addiction, morning motivation. Let's get it. Leg out. So it goes like this. I mean, this whole morning I've been juggling. I can't tell you how many emails, how many phone calls, how much bullshit that's been happening, all because everybody's late last minute. It's always this way. I thrive under stressful situations, last minute situations, and always looking for a touchdown. That's just who I am. That's what I do. That's print in an hour. Let's go. So do I even have any print in an hour? Let me see. Do I have any print in an hour flyers on me? I think I do. Let's look for this so we can make sure we're all on the same page here. But yeah, not only do I sell backpacks, not only do I make shirts and do my shirt designs, you know, I'm always ready and willing, you know what I mean? But it's the opposite side of the people that aren't ready. What ends up happening is your lack of preparation wants perspiration, and people aren't going to just jump up and take care of your 5,000 flyers for what is it? Complex Con, the sneaker convention's going on. And one of the guys, I actually just got off the phone with him. He was asking for, I guess, oh no, I do have flyers in an hour. Hold on, that's not true. I have flyers in an hour. Hold on, go ahead. I didn't orient it anyway. No, I didn't orient you anyway. Stop being weird live. Yeah, here we go. Flyers in an hour. All the way here in Vietnam, I'm handling deals overseas. This is the way I make income. You know what I mean? I made a business that was international, that I could handle everything, even on the weekends, even on a Friday night, even after you weren't ready and the flight has already left. I make it sound like that because people need to know that when the plane takes off, there is no returning the plane back. Time and tide, a wave tide, waits for no man or woman, and it just so happens these are women right now. But when I'm on the phone with the girl from LA, and she's like, this is for Chase. And I'm like, who the fuck is Chase? I know a guy named Chase. I don't even talk to him anymore. And you're over here talking about Chase. Oh, Chase Bank. Oh, you got a big deal going on. So you think you could drop Leonardo DiCaprio or Howard Hughes or Chase Bank on me? I'm like, it don't matter if you're Chase Bank or my dad. What's up, Alexandria? I see you. Alessandro. My bad, bro. I said that wrong. But it doesn't matter if you're Chase Bank or my father. If the plane leaves, it's motherfucking gone, bro. Like, there is no, hey, please come back. You know, I've been literally on my knees begging for them to let me on a plane that I was on time for, sitting on the phone with my girlfriend, fucking around talking to her, and I didn't see everybody get on the plane and make the line. I just blanked it, and I was there the whole time. And even though I checked in with the lady, she didn't give a fuck about me. She wasn't checking on me. And you need to inspect what you expect, and that's free multi-million-dollar advice from a multi-million-dollar business mentor that I had that's not alive anymore. Shout out to Rich Abajian. So when you're ill-prepared, right, or ill-tempered, it's never going to work in your favor, right? If you're always going to be catty or egotistical or narcissistic to people, they're going to notice that shit. They might not tell you about yourself, right? Like, they might not let you know in on this stuff, but what they are going to notice is that you're high maintenance. And nobody wants to take on your fire, take it off of your hair and put it on their hair so they can be on fire. This is the reason why most people say fire instead of rape, right? If you say rape, somebody's raping me, they might not do anything. Like, nobody would end up helping you. They don't give a fuck to you. Let me see. Somebody else sent me. I got another email. They're just going to ignore you. They're going to be like, that's too much trouble. But if it's fire, they're going to come running because they don't want something else to catch fire. And this is what we do. We light each other on fire. We're just like, I'm on fire, you're on fire. We're all stressed out. Let's light everybody up on fire. And it ends up being a fire fest, right? Like everything's on fire, and Rome's on fire. Even I think your Emperor Nero fucking did a little jig and a dance. Let me see. He's emailing me now. I just refreshed. What email did you send it to? And nobody's going to give a shit about it. I just refreshed. What email did you send it to? There you go. So yeah, you're on fire and you're going to expect somebody else to get on fire. That's not what's going to happen. Nobody wants to absorb your stress. People want to be around people that are blessed, people that are friendly, people that are cool, people that seem to be cool under pressure and can handle you, right? We all need that from a lover, from a perspective, a partner, or anybody that's in a relationship. You're going to want to be around somebody that can handle it, right? Like they can handle you when you're on fire. They can handle you when you're annyeonghaseyo. I see a South Korean in here. What's up, bro? And what ended up happening is she got off the phone quickly, right? She was just like, I gotta go. Like, like LA style, right? They're always like trying to name drop and always trying to act busier than they are. Like you're not already busy on a Friday night. Nobody else is going to answer the phone, and there are definitely no other print shops open except for me at Print in an Hour. I'm the only one hustling, and I'm trying to gather information from you, and you're too busy to give me the information. Then guess what? You'll never get the flyers. What ended up happening is her friend or her boss ended up calling right after, going, "Hey, I'm looking for her." And I'm like, "Did your girl just call?" She's like, "Oh yeah, that's her. That was her. I forget her name. What was her name? Who cares, right? Like anyway, she hung up on it, Sierra." Right. And she's like, "Oh, she's young." And I'm like, I don't care if she's young, old, or just born. People need to know that they need to have some respect, right? When they talk to people, if you're talking disrespectful to people, they're going to talk disrespectful back to you. I had this conversation with the unreliable model who said she was going to model for me the other day, try to call me to tee off on me and get angry and talk about how I come off to people, but she was coming off like an asshole and being disrespectful, trying to teach me about respect. And you'll never get respect out of people. You'll never get the best out of people if you're always going to be salty. Wow, you're very smart. I used to live in, I've been to South Korean prison. I've been to Gucci, so you already know. So the Book and Door on and thebookanddoor.com. You can buy the book and read it yourself. But, it taught me a lesson. It taught me a lesson that I have to endure. I have to endure, endure. The words went right through me that I can't just bitch about things, that I got to stop complaining, stop sharing my bad attitude, and stop sharing my fire and lighting other people up like it's their job to get as angry as me or argue with me or complain. I'm not allowed to complain anymore, but complain with me. Nobody wants that. You think it works when you're at the airport or the airlines and you're trying to get your airplane and you're being a bitch to the chick? They're going to kick you off the plane. Then it says, how do you speak such good English? Because I'm from America, bro. I only lived in South Korea for 6 months in Gucci. So because of 3 grams of weed, they arrested me. So anyway, my point being is this. If you are trying to grow as a human being, right? If you are trying to grow a business, if you're trying to be a better person, it's always best that you are nice to people. And the reason this is because they feel respected, they feel heard, and they'll go the extra mile for you. If you are prepared, if you are courteous, and you are being respectful, then they will definitely take care of you. If you're the type of other person that just gets all pissed off and decides to share your bad mood, that's childlike. And it's not childish. It's not only is it childish, but that's childish, not childlike. Being childlike's a good thing, having wonder for the world and gentleness and a reverence for life. But being childish is when you start acting like your childlike self, and this is a psychology term that most of us revert to when we're under stress. When we're under stress, we're going to be like acting like our 7-year-old self, our 4-year-old self, sub 10-year-old self, and then you're going to try to throw a fit. Just like I watch these kids over here at Vietnam when their mom's not giving them the money, and he was like, first of all, he's mimicking a behavior that he's seen from his parents. He had to learn it from somewhere. And he's also modeling the negativity that he's been learning. And also, you're acting like a kid. You know what I mean? Nobody wants a little temper tantrum from a grown ass adult, but that's what we do. We feel entitled. We start being a Karen. We'll be like, what do they do? Like, I want to speak to a manager or something like that. You'll never get to the management level because the manager doesn't want that kind of heat. And that's what it's called. It's called heat. When we used to sell cars, if it wasn't done right, the person would come there and be like, my numbers aren't right. I don't like my contracts. I don't like my tires. That's heat. It went from a customer that used to be cool and now they're on fire. And then they're going to be mad at you on some, where the fuck's my tire? Where's the fuck's my tint? Where's the gas that you promised me? You develop a customer that went from a cool cucumber to now is like a hot tamale. And then you got to go in there and deal with them, even though you already sold them the car, even though the paperwork's already done and the ink's drying on the contract. Guess what? You got to go in there and go get that presidential award. What did they used to call it when we were selling cars? Get the certification done correctly, or make that customer turn into an LTC, which I call a lifetime customer, by being polite, by calming them down, by being reserved and being able to chill the fuck out and get them to chill the fuck out. That's what you would want from a relationship. What's up, Noah's Adventure? I see you, bro. That's what you would want from your partner, and that's what you would want from a business partner. You want somebody that's not going to escalate the situation and go over and throw gasoline on it. I was talking about my ex-girlfriend last night. It was deep, but I was like, she was gaslighting me. She was pumping me up to make me fucking crazy out of my normal comfort zone, where I would just like, hey, let's go sit and chill. Come on, there's the connection. Yeah, I can't stay outside. It's a beautiful sunny day with the pool, and it was raining and thunderstorming last night, but they're playing music and it'll get me banned on YouTube. But or they'll flag it or try to demonetize it or whatever gay shit they're on about. But the point being is that there are people that will press your buttons, and then there are people that will de-escalate you. The police need to de-escalate. They don't always have to be grabbing for their guns. They don't always have to be punking you and trying to do a show of power or being all retarded with their making them do what they need to do and all these other things. That's just all bullshit. You know what I mean? Like that right there is only going to make the situation worse, especially in domestic violence situation or when situations need to be de-escalated and not so heated. If you're already in a mental institution and you're having the worst day of your life, the last thing you need is the police to do a show of power. And I was in the other stream. Do you remember me? I do, dude. I do remember you. I got you right here. I see you 2 days ago. Yeah, I thank you for watching again. Thank you for the likes. Thanks for the subscribes. And it's just one of those things where that's what we're looking for. We're looking for problem solvers, not problem creators. And this is the situation that most people are never going to be successful, is because they are a problem creator, not a problem solver. They make things worse. They cut people off. They're entitled. And then they demand things. I was watching the other day when these guys were trying to get the room next to me, and they were just like, oh, brother, with their hands out like this, brother, where's the discount? Brother. I think they were Israeli or something, but they were disrespecting the cool, calm, and collected Vietnamese guy that helps us, that went and fucking fixed my buddy's water heater. He just went in. They use electric water heaters here in Southeast Asia. I'll just show you, and this guy took the whole thing off the wall. This little water heater here, took it off the wall, started fixing it, grabbed him a new refrigerator. You know what I mean? Like, mine's not working either. I'm going to need a new one too. But, people are going to help you if you're a helpful person. If you're being a dick, that's the last person that you're going to want to help. You're going to only anticipate more bad attitude, more disrespect, and more abuse from them. And that's what you're going to see when you trigger people, or you're not being helpful, or you're being rude to them. They're going to just cut you off and be like, I'm done with you, bro. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to deal with your order. Matter of fact, your whole order is canceled. And that's what ended up happening with the girl from LA. Now, the girl from New York, her boss called, Lindy. She called back and she's like, yeah, she's just young. I said, young, dumb, full of cum. She needs to learn that it's disrespectful. No one gives a shit. In LA, that's how they are. They're so superficial that they'll just be like, show me your car keys. I don't talk to anybody with less than a BMW. You know what I mean? And I was watching one episode. It was a short or a cool little YouTube video. But he's like, dating in LA girls be like, looking around if there's someone more important to talk to, and then losing their part of the conversation and losing their attention, total ADHD type shit all over the place. And then you don't feel like you're talking to them really, because you're talking at them, but you're not talking to them. They've checked out, they've looked around, they're oh hi. As soon as you could be mid-sentence, you could be talking about something very important to you, like, hey, my mother died, and they be like, oh hi, you know what I mean, to somebody else, just because that's more important or more advantageous to them. But they're drilling holes in their canoe. I'm here to tell you, if you need somebody to go the extra mile for you, it ain't gonna happen if you're being a dick. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna be happening if you're being dismissive or disrespectful. They're just gonna check you out. They're gonna be like, good luck, bitch. And then you're gonna stay frustrated, never make it in business, and never make it in life. If you're gonna be that way, you can't be serious. If you're gonna be serious about business, you're gonna have to be attentive, you're gonna have to be prepared, and you're gonna have to be polite. Otherwise, you're never gonna earn any other business. And this is coming from somebody that had his own print shop, that used to be stressed the fuck out. I started arguing with my customers. I started actually physically pushing and fighting with my customers in my own shop. And I was making it entitled, like, you should be lucky that I'm doing your job. Even though I had inferior a printing press, I couldn't print color, I can only print black and white. And they can go anywhere that they like, so they don't have to deal with me. They don't have to deal with my bad attitude or my stress. And that's what ended up happening. I was unsuccessful because I wasn't being politically correct. I wasn't being professional, and that's just what it is. I'm calling myself out on this, but it's the truth. I was not being professional at all. I was all up in my stress level. I had rent to pay, $1,500 a month. My business, my printing machines weren't working correctly. All those things were getting me bad results from my customers and my products. So it's one of those things that I had to learn it. All adults need to learn it, but don't be the type of person to name drop and think that's going to make you important. You're not Chase Bank. Matter of fact, you're not even working for them. You're working at a convention, at a booth that just so happens to have the Chase logo on it. But you're like, this is for Chase. And I'm like, Chase? Who's Chase? I don't know Chase. You know what I mean? And she doesn't know Chase either, but she wanted to name drop. And then when it was time, okay, I got to go. And it was just like, okay, go then, just go. I don't have to absorb your bad energy. I don't have to absorb your negativity or your fire. Whatever bad deal you were doing, that's on you, bro. And guess what? If you're going to keep playing it that way, if you don't know how to transfer energy inside of yourself, if you don't know how to communicate properly and convey what you're trying to do, you'll never be successful. You'll never be making $1,000 a day like I do. You'll never make it to that 10 grand a month like I'm trying to get to. And you're never going to have any business partners that want to work with you, because they know that your ass is a high maintenance motherfucker. They know that you're going to be a pain in the ass, and they know that you're not going to be right in the mind to be able to deal with. I left the other chat because you had a very bad connection. I'm in Vietnam, bro. It is what it is. I'm lucky to have connection at all halfway across the world. Nice, bro. You can call. Bro, can you give me a house tour? Yeah, sure. Let's do it, bro. That's bad. No, it's just simple. It's just a closet. Got all my clothes hanging up. It's just a toilet, only $220 a month. You know what I'm saying? Nice little, at least the shower has a glass door between the shower and the toilet. That doesn't always happen in Southeast Asia, unfortunately. I got the TV, refrigerator, and telephone, not like I'm gonna use it even a kettle. This is all my setup, the designs, the hat, Saints Addiction. You can get the backpack, psychedelic backpacks, $50. I don't ever turn on a TV. There's my bag. There's my laundry. There's my bed. There's my charger. Pretty simple shit, but that's my view, baby. Look at that. Look at that. Right on top of the trees. It was thunderstorming last night. And that's what it's like. It's like somebody's on a thunderstorm. They're in a thunderstorm in their mind. They have a storm inside their soul. They're just really churning about inside of their lives. And it just makes them go crazy and out of their mind. And people that look at crazy people, they cross the street. You know what I mean? When I see a crazy person coming down the road, I'm going to cross the street. I don't want to absorb their negativity. I don't want to absorb whatever vibration they were on. Even matter of fact, I called my friend Hannah last night. I was calling her back, and she was I was eating with my friends and living my life and just enjoying Vietnam. And she was like, how dare you not answer the phone, laugh out loud. She was making a joke, but she was being sarcastic. But every joke has a kernel of truth. How dare I just enjoy my life? I'm not sitting by the phone waiting for you to call. And by the time I called her 2 hours later, she was already knee deep in a bottle of wine telling me to shut the fuck up and being abusive. And I'm like, I can just get off the phone with you. And I did. I have more respect for myself. I'm like, first of all, I can never talk to her because she's always drunk. She's not going to remember the conversation. The person that I'm talking to is inebriated and being negative and abusive. And that's why I don't fuck with it. Like my dad was an alcoholic. I don't fuck with those people. It's the quickest way to churn me off and churn and disengage with anybody. Like I just don't want to participate. And we've all been there. We've all been around the friend that was drunk and just falling all over the place or saying obnoxious shit or being disrespectful, and they won't even remember it. Oh, bro, I'm so sorry I hit on your girlfriend, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here. Nobody wants to deal with that shit. So if we see cross crazy coming down the street, we're going to be like, get me the fuck away from you, because I don't want to be crazy. I work hard on my mentality. I work hard to keep myself stable. I work hard on this business. And I'll be damned if I'm going to be around people that don't work hard at it too. If you're going to be flaky as fuck and just be like, oh no, I'm not answering the phone, or I'm going to be rude and shit's being stupid, nobody's going to deal with you. Nobody going to want to even be close to you. And my buddy hit me back. That's not the email. Are you in an apartment? No, this is a hotel, bro. I'm in a hotel. This is my hotel. Look at this. Check it out. For $220 a month, I can go from my swim. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful sunshine. I can smell the barbecue. My buddy's down here. Rooms available. They're building new rooms up here with the glass panels, I'm sure. Or I think that's going to be a shopping mall. And then look, just a beautiful day. I'm going to go for a swim. You know what I'm saying? You know, like just like yesterday, my push-ups, my sit-ups, and my swim. Stay in shape. You know, stay away from negativity and keep making my money, making over $1,000 a day, without being stressed out, without dealing with people that have that LA mentality. Like I can name drop, I can be dismissive, I can be rude, and nobody's going to listen to that attitude. There was a beautiful butterfly that just went by. Nobody wants to listen to that shit. They don't want to be around you. If you're going to be that type of person, people are just going to get away from you. They're going to be like, fuck your shit situation, fuck what you're doing. I'm not going to deal with you at all. And they might not even tell you this, right? They might just ghost you, disappear, block you, whatever it takes. Control, Alt, Delete. I told my friend the other day, I'm making a shirt. Control your thoughts, alter your emotions, right? And delete the negative. You know what I mean? And this is just one of my shirts, and I've been doing this for a hot minute, but that's what we need to do. We have to be able to control our emotions. We have to be able to alternate our thoughts. We have to be able to delete the negativity, because it will bleed. Just like human beings, just like yawning, just like laughter, just like eye contact, it's contagious. So people are contagious, and that's why we want to be surrounded by the top 5 people that are influential in your life. You might want to change those people, because you will absorb their life and you will absorb their vibration and you'll absorb their success rate. I had to fire the 5 of my friends because one was overweight, one was depressed, one was psycho, one was weak, and the other was, I can't remember. But you know what I'm saying? Like now I got friends that own businesses, $500,000 a year, has a yacht, has a what do you call that? An RV park where you can plug in the 26 spots, making buku money, multi-millionaires, people that travel the world. I got a coder that's right next door that's working on site in a sec right now. I got a team that just emailed me all the way from Hanoi and making sure that I got the email. That's what it takes, you know, that they can depend on me to wake up in the morning, that I'm going to be accurate, that I'm going to be respectful, and I'm going to be on my shit. If you're always out of whack, and you know what I'm talking about, somebody that never has money or always has drama or is always tripping out, guess what? Nobody's going to want to deal with you. They're not going to be around you. And that's what I told Hannah last night. I don't want to hear about your ex-boyfriend stories. Go get a psychologist. I'm not here for you to bleed all over me and digitally or what do they call that? Verbal vomit. I call it verbal vomit, but what do they call that? Trauma dumping on me, just trauma dumping on me, talking about your ex-boyfriend within the first minute of me calling, and it was like, Pedro did this and Pedro did that. I'm like, I don't want to talk about Pedro. Actually, I don't even want to know his name. And matter of fact, I'm never going to say his name again. Like, I don't want to live it with you. You know, and since she couldn't get that from me, she quickly got off the phone in a drunk, rude way. And I was like, fine, I don't need anything from you. You're like, oh, but you're supposed to be my close friend. I was like, oh, close friend, really? When's my birthday? Right. When's the last time we talked before that 4 hour conversation? Years. You know what I mean? And now all of a sudden I'm your good friend. Really? So you don't even know my birthday. I haven't spoken to you in years. And all you're trying to do is trauma dump on me in a drunk way that you're going to forget later. No, thank you. I got more important things to do with my time. I have my own vibe. I'm actually doing really well today. You didn't even how I was doing, but I just made $1,100 yesterday, and I'm about to make $1,500 today, and I'm making buku money where I can eat for only $2 and I can stay for only 220, and I'm having a blessed life. You know what I mean? Like I'm on an island, bro, in Vietnam, and you're over here not asking me how I'm doing. You just want me to stress out with you or trauma dump on me or absorb my good energy. So watch out for those energy vampires. Watch out for those people that are entitled. Watch out for those people that are dismissive because they'll never make it. I'm telling you, I've been in business my whole life, just wanting to be an entrepreneur, dealing with multiple people from car sales to gym sales, selling gym memberships to selling print. You know what I mean? Print an hour, baby, making my own prints and making it into a reality. You know what I'm saying? These are all my designs. This is all my idea. And it would never happen if I was being disrespectful to people, being dismissive, not listening, not being patient. I had to control my own emotions, my own mood. And this is the only way to keep going. Yeah. Oh, bro, keep going. You already know, bro. Have you ever put on a video where you said yes or no, quit? I don't know what that is. Yes or no, quit. Bro, when is your next stream? I do it every morning. I try to do it at 11 in the morning here, Vietnam time. And yeah, you know what I mean? Every morning is the morning motivation. I get up, I'm motivated. I do my stretches. I do my workouts. I've been seeing that little Tai Chi thing. I try to do at least a couple of hip flexors here, these each side. I'm still sore from my sit-ups yesterday. Make sure my hips are working. Make sure my shoulders are working. Get my blood going. I get up. I drink plenty of water. Matter of fact, need to do that too. And that's every morning, regardless if I'm making money or not, regardless if people are calling my phone or blowing me up. It's important to me that I keep my positive mentality because a positive mental attitude will go way further than any other bullshit that you'll ever go through. And if you're, like I said, if you're going to be dismissive or try to flex on people, like name dropping, people aren't going to give a shit. They're just going to see you as high maintenance and they'll just be like, yep, you're a complicated order. Just like Bon Qui Qui. I got a complicated order. Call security, and that's what people need. We need a security guard to come in, bounce the weirdos, people that are just going to be a complainer and ask for discounts when we need to highlight people, make them feel better about talking to you, make them enjoy their day, bring some levity and brevity to the situation, make it easy on people. If you're always going to be a pain in the ass, and trust me, I've been too, people are going to just hate on you and you'll never make it anywhere in life or in business or in any relationships. So your relational, your financial, and your spiritual game will all be thrown off when you deal with people that have been drinking, still angry inside, still fucking being disrespectful, not being cordial, not being patient. You're just going to be like, seek their getlan, as they say in Turkish. That means get the fuck away from me. Seek their getlan. Get away from me because I'm doing good right now. And I don't want to inherit your mood. I don't want to inherit your attitude. And I definitely don't want to inherit your disrespect. I'm out here being respectful. I'm out here being courteous. And I'm out here being patient. And that's why I get to make over $1,000 a day and be able to live this lifestyle and look at this view is because I do these things. Now, if I wanted to be an entitled kid or be a high maintenance hoe or be a pessimistic person, I would have never been successful. And that's the truth of it. So, yeah, bro, when is your next stream? Bro, keep going. I got you. What I mean is have you ever wanted to quit? Yeah, I mean, I'm not much of a quitter, to be honest. I'm pretty driven. There's been times where I needed the money and I was like, maybe I should go back to selling cars. That almost happened. Or I still haven't made any money off my shirt designs. I got to get all my reliable models and still send out shirts all over the world. And some of them are flaky. And I'm like, fuck this domain, this website, but never have I wanted to quit. There's so many things that I have in my dreams and things that I want to go after that it makes me compelled to do it. So that's why I do the morning motivation, because I'm actually motivated and motivated. So that's this morning's motivation. If you got anything out of this, you already know. Like, share, and subscribe below. Comment, interact with me. I respond back to every message. Peace and love around the world. And as always, Chigatan. That means goodbye, but not forever in Finnish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. But it's the other side of your fear, the other side of your excuses, and the other side of the world, because that's where I'll be. But it's also the other side of your personality. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to, because you can be however you want to be, but people are going to respond, and you're not going to like it. Peace.